Today on my channel, I will be sharing with you 6 characteristics of an irresponsible man not to settle for. Number 1, do not settle for a man that avoids his obligations and engagements both towards himself and others. What I mean here is this: when you see a man that is always struggling to pay his bills on time, meaning he always procrastinates when to pay, and he's always feeling like someone at the end of the month is going to come in and pay those bills for him. This kind of men, if you observe, they will squander their whole salary, and you'll be like, how is this guy even doing to be like, every time he's buying this, he's buying that? How is he even doing? But you know why he's doing that? He does that, and at the end of the month, he's going to start calling different people. Maybe a week to the month ending, you will see him, you start giving random phone calls to friends, family members. Please, can you borrow me this amount of money? Please, can you borrow me 300? Can you borrow me 200? To be able to add up all those amounts, to be able to make up money for his rent and for his bills. When you see this in a man, I don't care how his D game is good, please do not settle for that, because that should already show you what your future is gonna be like. Like I said, when you're with a man and you notice that things like his rent and his bills, he's always so chill about it. Whenever he gets his salary, the first thing that he does is shop online, shop for shoes, shop for clothes, and you're like, what the hell? And at the end of the month, you see him calling this friend, that friend. Please, can you find me 300? Please, can you find me 600? Even if those friends make it available for him, do not go ahead and settle for that kind of man, because that should show you the kind of future you're going to have. In the future, that man is never going to pay his rent and he's never going to pay his bills. And you will always find yourself being the one doing those things for him. For you guys as a family, you as the woman, you will find yourself taking care of everything in the household. Because for him, his money is only sweet for enjoyment and he's entitled. He doesn't see the reason why his money should be used to pay bills and all that kind of stuff. But other people's money will be very sweet to be borrowed at the end of every month to take care of his bills. When you notice this in a man, do not settle for him. This man, if you finally settle down for him and you guys already have kids that he knows that you're not going anywhere, what this man is going to do to you, you are not going to understand. You are always going to be in an emotional turmoil. Every end of the month, he's going to come to you and guilt trip you. Baby, if you don't pay the rent, they will evict us. It's going to be disgraceful. What are your friends going to say? What are your family members going to say? Every time you're going to be changing addresses and all that kind of stuff. Every time you're going to be seeing eviction notices on your door. You do not want that for your life. So when you see this kind of characteristic in that man, do not settle for him. Or your last name is going to be courthouse, evictions, embarrassment everywhere. Number 2, when you meet a man that's an expert at procrastination, he is always leaving things that are to be done in the moment for later. When you fall on a man that is always procrastinating, no matter how serious an issue is, he doesn't handle it at the moment. He's always telling you, I'm going to handle that later. It's nothing now. Later, don't worry, we'll handle this later. Doesn't see a sense of urgency in anything. For him, everything is a joke. When you fall on this kind of man, what you need to understand is that he's like Peter Pan living in an ideal world. For him, it's an everyday party. His motto is, let's have fun. We will do whatever has to be dealt with later on. Everything for him is fun. He never takes anything seriously. And men like that, when approached with structured and serious conversations, they always tend to run away because they are irresponsible. They are not responsible. That's when you start telling you are so boring. You'll be avoiding every serious conversations, and he'll always find somewhere to be whenever you want to have a serious conversation with him. What I mean by that is this: when you have a man that every time you want to have a serious conversation with him, he's always like, I have to go out with my friends. I have to go to the bar here. My friends invited me here. All that kind of stuff. Sis, stay away from that kind of guy. Like I said, for them, they live in a fairy tale world. They like to avoid any form of serious conversations, talking about their life and talking about their future. No, they don't want that. For them, they just want to enjoy day by day and just be like, Whatever happens is going to happen. So you don't want to be with a man like that. You don't want to end up with a man that is always saying, let's have fun now. It's nothing serious. We are going to handle this later on. No, 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 no. Number 3, the kind of man not to settle for is a man that lives day by day. This man has no planification. Everything about him is day by day. His life is like a fairy tale and wonderland. He just gets blown away by the wind. Whatever direction the wind blows him, that's where he goes. This kind of man doesn't have leaders' criteria. And what I mean by that is this. You're with a guy, you never see him opening a book to enrich himself intellectually or to better his life. You will never see him pausing for a second to think about his life and think about where he's headed. And this kind of men, most times, they can never keep a job. Or you will notice they'll get a job, they are going to be there forever, and they are going to be stagnant in the same position for years and years and years to come, because for them, they got the job. That is it. No drive, no wanting more in life, nothing. They are just there, stagnant. No reading of books, no reading of information online, no further researches on better job positions to get. Even if he has certificates or exams that he can write to better himself, no. You will never see him doing that. That same position they hired him in 1993. You're going to see him working there in 2070. Those kind of men, like I said, they are not leaders. Do not settle down for that kind of man. With this kind of man, your future is going to be very shaky and there is going to be no growth. And trust me, unless someone has health issues, you don't want to find yourself with somebody that's completely healthy and there is no growth. The person is just stagnant in one place. The person just goes for one thing and stay there for years and years and years and years. No other ambition. You don't want to end up with a man like that. Number 4. If you see a man that is not trustworthy and reliable, do not settle down for that man. What I mean by that is this. There are some men you will follow. They are like chameleons. Constantly changing, double-faced, and not focused. I fell on somebody like that in my life. You know, I've always heard about stories of people saying how, have you met people that are double-faced, all that kind of stuff? And I was like, oh yeah, I think I've met those kind of people. It's not that bad, all that kind of stuff. You just have to accept each other for who they are. But there was this one particular guy that I met once. And this guy was trying to be with me. That guy was so, I don't know if I'm going to say bipolar, but the guy was so untrustworthy and unreliable all over the place. I have never felt so restless in my life. The guy was so all over the place. I have never seen someone so unstable and so toxic in life. And when you are with this kind of people, trust me, your spirit is going to tell you that something is wrong. You are always going to be restless. And most times, this kind of men, they are so sweet, they are so gullible, they are so fun. Like I said, they have a certain kind of energy. They're a little bit like gigolos, always playful, always not taking anything seriously. Everything about them is play, play, play. So you easily find yourself get carried away and forget about the real stuff that have to be talked about and dealt with in a relationship before settling for them. This kind of man does not hold or respect his promises both to you and to other people. Even to himself, he's going to be this kind of man that will always be like, I promise you, I'm going to be there at this moment and he will not show up. I promise you, I'm going to be there to do this and he's not going to show up. You always see him saying, you know what, baby, I'm going to start this project and I promise you that this time around, I'm going to see it through. But guess what? Eventually, he never does. And if you observe very well, that is who he is. Because sometimes we see some people doing some things and we're like, nah, I can't change them and everything. No. That is who he is. When you see somebody like that, that is who he is. Some people don't just take anything serious in life. They are untrustworthy and they are all over the place. And you just can't help them. That's just who they are. That is their spirit. They are restless human beings. They are all over the place and they cannot be tamed. So when you're with a man that has a pattern of never respecting his engagements towards himself, towards you, or towards people around him, my sister, do not settle with that kind of man. Because when you get to have kids with this man, I can only imagine the kind of suffering you are going to go through. When you will tell him that our kids are having this meeting at school today, student parents meetings, he's going to tell you, I'll be there. It's on Friday, right? It's at 2 p.m., right? He's not going to show up. You'll find yourself always getting stressed. You'll always be the one having to show up at the end of the day. He never respects any engagements he has towards anybody. And even himself. You do not want to be around that kind of person for a lifetime. Trust me, I have had experience with that kind of energy for a few months, and trust me, there was nothing more toxic with that experience, especially when you're somebody that likes to be organized, likes to plan, when you're somebody that looks ahead. There is nothing more toxic than that. Number 5, do not settle for a man that is financially careless. What I mean here is this man, if you notice, he is always and most times always in debt. This kind of man, when he has some sort of money, that is when you will see him. He will be so happy, smiling, disappearing, partying, always with friends, drinking in snack bars. And he will save none for rainy days and for monthly responsibilities, for monthly bills. He will save none for them. As soon as the palm of his hand or his account gets to touch a little bit of money, the only thing he thinks about is enjoyment. And when that money gets to finish, you will see him. He will start becoming aggressive, start guilt-tripping you. He will start telling you stuff like, you, what kind of girlfriend are you even? Other girlfriends are there, they're helping their men and everything. Me, I'm just here every day. You're just telling me love, 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 love. You're never there for me, that kind of stuff. He will start guilt-tripping you and start to make you feel as if you are his wife, you owe him something, you're responsible to take care of him, helping him pay his bills, helping him do this and do that. When you see that kind of man, that whenever he gets money, whenever he gets paid, let's say at the end of the month or bi-weekly, that man, all he thinks about is himself. He's selfish. All he thinks about is partying, buying new clothes, being snack bars with friends, all that kind of stuff. Then every end of the month, he always comes to you, baby, are you not going to help me with this thing? Baby, are you not going to help me with that thing? Dear, when you see that, run. Do not settle for that kind of man. And number 6, when you're with a guy and you notice that he's always depending on others. And what I mean by that is this. You will see him, he's clearly working. But every end of the month, he's always depending on handouts from siblings and friends abroad. Uncle, aunts and friends in general somewhere. This guy is always relying on people, always online, begging for money. Anytime you ask him for a little something, maybe you tell him, baby, I need to go do my nails. He'll tell you how, don't worry, I'm going to go online, I'm going to call my brother. And he's clearly working. But every time you see him, he's always online, begging for money. He's a professional Facebook and WhatsApp money beggar, pestering people online for favors and money. My dear, when you see that in a man, do not settle for him. Because what is going to happen to you in the future if you settle for him, that man is going to be a source of embarrassment to you. That man is even going to be the kind of man that he's going to be on Facebook demanding money from random girls, from his old schoolmates that he has been going to school with in the past and everything. Yes, maybe he's going to be giving you whatever you need once in a while, all that kind of stuff. But trust me, you won't know what he's doing. Because maybe when you see him doing that, you'll be like, he's only asking money from his siblings now, from his family now and everything. What is there? Nothing is there. As long as he gives him the money, I don't care. No, you don't want to settle for a man like that. A man that is a professional Facebook and WhatsApp beggar. Do not settle for a man like that, because that man is going to disgrace you. Your man is always going to be online, asking money from girls, asking money from old school friends. My guy, how are you now? Bros, find me something now. Find me 50k now. Sis, find me 30k now. You don't want to be with a man like that. That is so embarrassing, man. Like I said, he's not responsible enough. Even if he has a job, he has a career, he has money, he's making enough money. No, that money he's going to use it on himself. Always relying on people, all that kind of stuff. Then whenever any little thing happens, it's never his fault. It's always like, this person didn't do this for me. My brother didn't do this for me. My mother didn't help me. He's always blaming people. He's never accountable for anything that he does. When you fall on this kind of man, my sister, do not settle for him. Or the kind of disgrace that is coming for you and your children in the future. You will not understand what is happening. And this men that always find it so easy to be online begging for money like that, they can do anything. They're a little bit like gigolos. He's going to sleep with anything. He's going to be exchanging news with people online and everything just for money. He's going to reach out to girls that he knows from high school that are now maybe in the US, that are done, they are graduated university, they're now working and everything. He's going to be online flirting with them, exchanging nudes, doing crazy videos and all that kind of stuff just to be able to obtain something from them. You don't want to be with a man like that, because that is so embarrassing and so disgraceful. So if you as a lady, you see all these 6 signs in a man and you still decide to settle for him, for me, when you see the signs, I don't care if he has already proposed or if he's to propose. No. It doesn't matter if you have been with him for 5 years, for 3 years. If you haven't seen any changes and he's always displaying all these characteristics that I gave you, sis, I don't care if he comes and kneel in front of you and say, would you marry me? Say no and go and start all over again. Because if you see more than 4 of these characteristics in the man that you're presently dating, and you think he's going to change, I'm going to change him. Because some of you, your brain, you're so clouded by the D game, you just forget yourself. You enter marriage with that guy. The kind of things you're going to go through in that marriage, you will not understand what is happening to you. Only you alone. You have your husband, international beggar, bipolar, unstable, all over the place, irresponsible, can't take care of bills ahead of time. If anything is to happen to you, you get sick, basically you're screwed. Your children are screwed. Your future is screwed. Your present is going to be screwed. So you do not want that for yourself. So like I said, no matter how the D game is good, or no matter how he's treating you, yes, maybe, I don't know, use him at the moment, but put your leg on another stone. Start looking for somebody else. Look for a responsible man, because getting married to somebody is not a joke. So if you as a woman, you see all of this and still want to settle down for him because he's tall, he's handsome, he's dark in complexion, he's yellow in complexion, he's tasty, and you still go for him, my dear, so be it. Whatever you're going to discover ahead of you, you'll be the one to carry it on your head, and you'll be the one to deal with it and face it. So that is what I had to share with you. Be wise out there. Don't get carried away by emotions, by beauty, all this thing. It's just flesh. We're all gonna become old and ugly someday. We're all gonna be wrinkled someday. By deciding who you want to end your life with is either going to make you or break you. So you have to be really, really careful who you end up choosing. You don't want to find yourself in a situation where you spend the next 40 years of your life always overthinking, always trying to compensate for where an adult is lacking. You don't want to be dealing with all those things, because all those things, they come with chronic illnesses. You don't want that for yourself. So to my ladies out there, these are the 6 characteristics of an irresponsible man that I was able to put down for you, so it can be of help to you when it comes to choosing the man you want to spend the rest of your life with. So if you like this video, thumbs up. If you like what I'm on about, thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. And let me know if you have experienced a man with any of these characteristics, and if you saw these characteristics and still went ahead and settled for that man. Let me know what you're presently dealing with, and share with me how you think this could eventually become very toxic and everything, and what should somebody do if they've already made the mistake and stepped into marriage with that person, and also if what I said is true and you can relate to it. All right, y'all, bye.